We can't continue to have violence like this and condone this type of activity in our communities. Those are the words of Richmond County Sheriff Eugene Brantley during his press conference after the recent shooting at the Augusta Mall, September 23rd, 1 week ago. The sheriff now joins us to continue the conversation of community safety in the CSRA. A lot of people talking about this, obviously a lot of people concerned. First off, any updates on the shooting at the mall? And then also we had a shooting a couple hours later, Druid Park Avenue in Augusta, that people were asking, was this a retaliatory shooting? First off, any updates on those two shootings?
Well, we feel as if it was in retaliation to the shooting that happened at the mall. Yes, sir, that's correct.
What about any updates on the actual mall shooting itself? Any more than what we learned during the press conference?
No more than what we were able to release at the time of the press conference, and the next day once I pretty much gave overall facts of what entailed the whole encounter at the mall, from the fight to the shooting.
Right, and of course many people have seen the video of the shooting. The victim in the mall shooting, 17-year-old Devon McLean, he was also charged in connection to a shooting in the Harrisburg community back in June. Not in custody very long. Wondering what your thoughts are. Is there a problem with offenders being released too soon, or is this more of a case-by-case basis?
Well, I think every case is basically a case-by-case basis. Our jails are overcrowded. The juvenile system, don't know what to kind of do with the influx of juveniles committing acts of violence, and oftentimes we end up releasing them back to the parents when, quite frankly, they should be kept in custody.
Right. Now, the three shootings that I mentioned, at this point, can you say if they are gang-related? And if so, how bad is the gang problem right now in the CSRA? Not just in Augusta, but in the area.
Well, I can't disclose whether they're gang-related right now, but we do have a problem with gangs in our community, but we do have a gang task force that's working real hard behind the scenes, and we're actually getting some traction and getting some people off our streets to make our community safer.
All right. Now, I know these cases, obviously, they involve teenagers, and you have talked previously, in fact, in multiple press conferences, wanting parents to take more action, to be more involved in their lives, thinking, and rightfully so, that this would help reduce teen violence and what we have seen, the shooting at the mall, the Druid Park Avenue, of course, Harrisburg community as well. Your thoughts on that? How do we translate that? How do we get that message to parents to get them more empowered?
So it's difficult.
It is difficult.
A lot of times as kids grow, you see parents sometimes applaud behavior that we shouldn't applaud, regardless of where they're at when they're doing such things, and it just leads us to believe that we need better parenting. We need better direction for parents as to how to raise our kids and how to hold them accountable for their actions. A lot of times we see kids do things that when we were growing up, we just wouldn't dare do, or just wouldn't get away with it. And it's been often said that it takes a village to raise a kid. Well, now the people in the village aren't those same people that were in the village when you and I grew up.
Right. Yeah, and I want to ask you about this reality, because you have many families where it's a single parent household, or you have two parents, they're both working, maybe two jobs just to try and make ends meet. When you have that situation, does the community need more options for where kids can go, more positive atmospheres? And we certainly have many people out there who are doing this. Boys and girls clubs, you've got many people who are volunteering at churches trying to make sure that kids have a place to go. But what more can the community do?
I feel like the churches can get more involved. I feel like our recreation department can be more involved and give them, different avenues to where they can, in the evenings, come to after hours, because most of our rec departments close up at maybe 6, 7 o'clock in the evening.
Right.
And so from the rest of the evening, they're just out in the streets. We've implemented a new curfew law that has already been in existence, but we've started to enforce it a bit more than we used to. And I think that's helped us get some of the youth off the street to prevent them from being places they shouldn't be and things happening.
Right.
So that's kind of our way of.
Right. Other people, their solution is, do you need more boots on the ground? Do you need more deputies patrolling? But you've made the point, you can't be in every location all the time. The shooting that happened at the mall could have happened anywhere. It just so happens, you said those juveniles saw each other. They had a beef going back and forth. They happened to see each other at the mall. You can't be everywhere. But would having more deputies help patrolling those areas?
Well, it would always help to have more. To say that even if we had more officers present at the mall, that it, wouldn't happen. Like you never know. But I feel as if we're trending in the right direction. We're heading there. We're having these meaningful conversations with the people at the mall, stakeholders throughout the community who want to feel safe, and there's a need for them to feel safer.
All right, best case scenario, you had a blank check. Of course, this is hypothetical, it won't happen. But if you had a blank check, what would you like to see happen as far as helping you reduce crime and also in terms of teen violence?
Well, I'd like to see our recreation centers open, stay open later. I'd like to see more programs for the youth, and we have to be able to target those youths who are at risk to engage in violence and gangs and things of that nature. So we have to find a way to appeal to them, to kind of pull them away from wanting to join gangs and do things that cause them to get in trouble and then end up in jail.
Right. This past week is just a snapshot of what happens during the course of the year, and sometimes people forget that they just respond to what they see in a short time frame. But people, I'm sure, asking you, Sheriff, is it safe to go to the mall? Is it safe to go downtown? And what do you tell them?
Absolutely, it's definitely safe. This time last year we had 6 homicides that involved juveniles where they were arrested for offenses of homicide. This year we have 4. This year we're down, I think the same time last year we had 36 murders. This year we have 26. So things are getting better, but people's perception of whether they feel safe or not is just something totally different.
And it may just depend on what's happened in the last couple of days.
Yes, sir.
All right. Sheriff Eugene Brantley, thank you so much. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate your time. We appreciate all that you do for the community.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming in.